So I don't really have a morning routine, but I do listen to Michael Singer podcast, one of my favorite authors, as I'm getting ready, just brushing my hair.
This is me out working for people who mentally feel like the ego thing is what they need you to participate in. Like I'm kind of dreading going there today because I just don't want to participate. And I don't really think it makes you successful. I think if you are successful, you have your dream job and you playing games, or you know how to move in a room full of vultures, but that's your dream. That makes sense. I'm a cocktail server. It's not that fucking serious. Like, it's really not. I don't feel like I make a lot of money because the system of it is, the system that was created wasn't for that. I think I would make a lot of money cocktail serving in a place where people go out to spend money. And I think people go out in cities like Vegas, maybe Miami. I don't think Miami is for me, but I think those are the places where if I had a job there, I would be like, oh, I just left today, but whatever. I don't really even get my tips first because the way that the system is created, if somebody sees me working hard, they might give me a cash tip, but it's not consistent enough for me to be like, okay, that shitty day was worth it because I now have cash in my pocket type of situation. And the overall thing that I'm telling myself, like, it's not my goal to work in food and beverage. Like, it's just a job. And I'm somebody that keeps a job because I like to eat, have shelter for very basic necessities. Like, I don't really go after jobs. And I just was trying to explain this to my cousin. I didn't have to. That's why I'm saying trying. I know he understands it. There's so many people that live in New York. Like, it's a different space when it comes to, like, getting through the door or actually getting an interview. I think I didn't want to wear this shirt, but I'm gonna wear it. Fuck it. But it's different to get like a job here, especially what my whole thing was to just get jobs to get by so I could work on my projects. And I end up just, in the past, just surviving off of those jobs. Like, I'm not really making a abundance of money. And I realized a little while ago, for me to make an abundance of money, like, I'm exchanging my mental health. That's what's ailing me. Like, I'm stressed, I got anxiety, I could perform, but it just was like so stressful and crazy. I told myself to stop doing it, to live my life much simpler, you know. And living my life much simpler isn't really offering like financial abundance, especially right now. So the goal is to just, and I hate doing this, is to have multiple gigs because I'm definitely not, it's not that I'm not a people person, I just don't believe in anything that's not intellectual based when you're at work. I think people don't like when people are smarter than them. And I'm not about to act dumb, I'm not about to shuck and jive, like, it's not that serious. And I definitely don't want to do that for my dream job. So I'm not trying to, my whole thing is like, I don't want to create the muscle where I'm shrinking myself, because I've done that before in relationships and spaces, and you can't really turn that on and off. If you pretend to be small, or if I pretend to be small for any amount of time, I am small. It's not a pretend. Like, I am shrinking myself for this amount of time. Then when it's time for me to stand tall, it's difficult. It doesn't come on and off. So I just saw a message from, I'm saying a friend of mine because I'm just like that, but a musician I just met, to ask him about studios so I could like live my day like going to the studio to get something done and boom, boom, boom. Because everything else I do is alone. It's not like I have a writer job. Even some of the writer jobs are like, I don't want to say it's a grooming, but it's a specific way to get into them. And I used to apply to them, but I think I actually don't know where the writer jobs are. I used to be a big fan of like Vice Media, and I would apply there all the time. And I met like some people that said they worked there and they did or they didn't like it, but I also feel like I just don't have like the connections. So my goal is to like create my working portfolio and put it out there to begin to submerge myself in those spaces. So that's my personal goal. But you know, in the meantime, to get to the goal, you gotta look like something. So I'm gonna go to this gig today because I want money to look like money when I'm going to interview with people. But I really don't want to be there. And my personal goal is to stop putting myself in spaces, places, and things like that where I don't want to be. Like, I want that to stop being a familiar territory for me. Me going places that I know I can't be the best version of myself. If I have to shrink myself or turn my intellect down, or, you know, if the role of the job requires me to be anything but myself, I definitely don't belong in this building. And as I'm talking to you, I realize I don't really apply to writers' jobs. So maybe I should do that. I'll try. But I definitely have to set my schedule up so I could get shit done. Because I literally don't go to sleep. And I know I'm not going to sleep because I'm like choosing distraction over my goal. Like, I could like scroll a little bit or watch this sitcom. Sitcoms are like hugs to me. So I could do that shit for hours. And it's like, girl, did you really just sit there with this sitcom and not work on your scripts or anything? And yeah, it's true. Hell yeah. I would do some shit like that. Hell yeah, I have done shit like that. And I still do shit like that. So I need to really be more responsible with my time. And every time I try to create a structure, it kind of like falls through. Like, I got a storage space so I can convert it into an office. Then with that office, I want to like go to it every day. And I had so much shit that I didn't realize in my storage space is I got the desk sitting there, but I can't really sit there. But also the way that I am is I can't operate in clutter because it like kills my confidence, to be honest. Like, it's just so much shit I'm thinking about the shit rather than going there to work. So I was trying to prime myself like, okay, go to the gym across the street, come here, and the gym across the street was like not a good look. And then everything else just felt like not a good look, not a good look. So it was like, fuck, you know? At least that's how I feel. But anyway, I'm about to pack my bag. And in my bag, I always do this. And I clown myself for it in a real way because when I do this, I don't, I was about to freak out, but I'm gonna relax because I can't find my hard drive, but I think I put it back in its right bag. So I have to leave out. It's a library down the street. I'm gonna print my resume. And I need to find my hard drive first. Find my hard drive, go print my resume, go to this interview before I go to the gig that I'm leaving. Do my affirmations before I leave out. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Ooh, whew. I found it. This is no joke. If you use a hard drive, I don't know if you do, but it's no joke. When I just thought that thing was missing, literally, panic attack. That's all I could think was like, oh, my life is a calamity because that fucking thing went missing. Like, that wasn't good for me just now. So, I'm not freaking out anymore, but that still scared the hell out of me. So I'm packing my shit so I can go print my resume at the library before I get on the train. And yeah, I'm really out this time. I'm really out. As I put this scarf on, I want to say shout out to Rihanna for making thug life fashionable, because it's the only reason I think people at my job don't ask me questions when I have on shit like this, like because they've seen a picture of Rihanna somewhere with some fly shit on. Shout out for the big boss baddie for setting a standard.
So this is me still at work getting ready, trying to get myself out of the way so I can go downstairs to work. So, gotta get my AirPods so I can listen to my monologues all day to memorize them. But also trying to figure out Not trying to figure out. I have to have that honest discussion with myself, like in my planner pages, like why does my shit not execute efficiently? And simultaneously register for multiple gigs, so I'm always working. Because I don't work here on the weekends, so I can sign up for the catering company on the weekends, which is like Saturday and Sunday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, cocktail serve. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the morning, I am hosting. And I do really good when other people have expectations of me because I could show up outside of that time and be constructive. The only thing is that I never schedule like my rest. So I need to develop a consistent rest schedule. So I just learned this, but I always learned this. So I'm at work at my cocktail gig, and I just like, I knew this already, but it's like really being confirmed in my head. Like when you're good at something, like extremely well, you perform really well at it, but you're in the company of somebody else where acknowledging you means to them that like they're deteriorating or they're just not capable of it, you have to move on because you're not going to grow. So in a particular experience that I just was exhibiting, like I'm a big fan of like morale, personnel development, because it all contributes to the productivity. So I'm mentioning to someone the intention of that, like the intention of working and being collaborative and like celebrating together, because it's like a work party or whatever. And the person I'm talking to is like completely incapable of listening to what I'm saying. So they're just repeating what they're saying without any regard. So it's almost like we're speaking two separate languages. I'm saying, hey, this is going on, and they're like, and their words to be exact, just because I want to remember this to myself, their words to be exact was, I don't know what she's talking about. And it wasn't the type of conversation to even say that. So that's kind of reckless to be in a professional setting and to say, I don't know what she's talking about, without taking the same incentive to educate yourself. Like what? Like share that information with me more, not to just disregard, like I don't know what she's talking about. So it's just like further confirmation that I didn't need, that I definitely, it's time for me to move on, but also for me to realize my strengths and to not wallow or wait for somebody to acknowledge my strengths. Like obviously I'm the shit, and I'm so much the shit that you can't pull together your vocabulary skills and figure out how to communicate effectively. The most you can do is say some slick shit. Loser. So I actually have a stabilizer that I should get, right? But I never get the stabilizer because it doesn't sit perfectly. Like, let me see. You can see me, but like, not really. But anyway, this is like such a hot topic. I just wanna unpack it. Ring light. That's what I'm.
Oh, honey, if you'd ever seen him work his way through a porterhouse, you wouldn't be asking that question.
So what's the gift for anyway? I like this camera angle because you can see my cat. Cat, look. You okay? You hit your eye today? So I had an epiphany at work, and I just gotta unpack it. And the hella thick mascara is around. But so I love this space of having a YouTube channel because I always have these prophecies, but I kind of like don't share them because I don't have like a great community to share like my highest thoughts. So I like that this is like helping me become accountable for like my life and my decision making. So
I started this conversation last week with a coworker, but we were like in passing. I was coming to work and she was leaving, so I couldn't really unpack it. But she mentioned very briefly that people that we work with are like experiencing simulation, and that's actually not success. Like you assimilating is not success. Like you ignoring your culture and things like that, right? So I'm on the other side of the argument because we work in like within an organization that's super diverse, but the leadership doesn't acknowledge it. So instead of it being like we're learning all these different skills and concepts from people who have come from different walks of life, it's more like, no, this is it. And for you to be successful or to be regarded or respected, or for somebody to communicate with you effectively, you have to assimilate because that's what they understand. Granted, we work with old white men, so they might be old enough to where Jim Crow and all that shit was legitimately legal. So they're not pushing themselves to understand anything furthermore. But also, people believe that when you're a leader, it's like, or at least in this particular establishment, it's like, oh, I'm a manager. And it's just like, but you're a human, right? And before you became a manager, I don't even know how you got there, but you're a manager, but you have poor communication skills. And I'm the perfect type of person that has like open communication. So I want to let you know that I'm talking and you're actually not responding to what I'm saying. So where's the solution? It's not. It's just your radar going off for, oh, she's not assimilating, and being very dismissive to me in your presence, which is very disrespectful. But beyond all that, what I wanted to unpack today is like work and what work means. So if I should push this back so you can see all of my face, right? All of my lovely face. So me working somewhere where the leadership expectation, and I already had like a quick view of this, but it's just my eyes like wide and wide open every day because the people that already work there were being disrespected, in my opinion, but they also were younger. And when you are young, you don't know that receiving respect is a normal projection. So I feel like the company, very early on, I viewed their hiring practice as predatory, but it allowed them to remain in a position, the ego-based position that they're in. So boom. So the role of simulation comes in because when people of ethnicity are just being themselves, they're working really, really hard to get the job done and going above and beyond, but they don't look like whoever's in charge. They're not actually growing within their career. And what sucks in that space, if you are young in that space and you're like stumbling upon validation, or you're thinking you're supposed to get that from your employer, it sucks because they're deliberately looking past you or not looking at you or not acknowledging you strictly because of your diversity. And they have such an ignorance about it, they're not going to address why your work ethic and why you're not being acknowledged. But the epiphany I fell upon today is that in those spaces, I have to realize how much of the shit that I'm actually am, that you can't exist without the posture of simulation. Like, I was talking to someone today and I was just like trying to give it a try. So it's very disheartening that it didn't work. But I was talking to someone that I know doesn't have communication skills. So communication skills is someone says something, you listen and you respond. It's not talking at someone. So their level of leadership is to talk at. And when you're talking at, you never listen, you never receive. You don't grow, and the person on the other side doesn't grow because you're in an ego-based position. Like, this is what's going on. And it's really not that serious. We're having a very simple conversation and he completely disregarded it in an extremely ignorant way. But because he is a leader, it's preceded as okay. But because he's a leader exemplifying poor leadership skills, he's equally requiring or asking, subliminally asking for me and every other employee to simulate that ignorance. He just doesn't know that because he doesn't have an accountability or awareness over what that actually means. So the simulation of it all is that I'm not doing it and I don't have to do it to be successful, but also I'm not going to be successful in that place. And this always used to happen to me. Always used to happen to me. I would get a job and like, it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go. And I was looking for somewhere where I would be okay because I didn't have ownership over my race or my culture or what that meant to people when I came to work, and I could do the job without assimilating. But it's such a big thing to me because I live in New York, and the whole thing about working in New York is that it's so many people, you can't really get easily to the job that you're trying to get to, especially if everybody is in agreement upon the simulation. And it sucks because people of diversity, they feel like they have to do it, and they are doing it. So it's not like, oh, we have all these strong people here. We just have people who are performing a simulation to get to success. So I had to really pat myself on the back today when I acknowledged, damn, I'm so well versed that I could communicate on a multitude of levels. I could recognize somebody else's diversity. I could meet people where they at in regards to their communication level. Like, look at all these skill sets that I am abandoning and ignoring because they're not operative or not operative in the phase of simulation that I am in. And what sucks about being in paradigms like this is that the person that is in the posture position, like, doesn't have to acknowledge it. It just is what it is. Someone talking to you and disregarding you, it is what it is, without them saying that it is what it is. So it's just like, time to move on again. But I'm so happy because usually I would come home and actually be tired because I'm up all night. It's like, fuck that. Let me type my scripts. Let me do what I gotta do, because the skill sets that I have are for the gifts that God gave me. You might feel like that's cheesy, but they are for my gifts for me to progress and go the way that I need to go in life. Me shrinking myself is not helpful for me, and it's not helpful for anybody, and it's definitely not helpful towards my goals. So I just wanted to really unpack like the wow factor in that, because it's only wow to me because of the intellectual conversation of it all. Like, it's simulation, like, yeah. But you're asking me to simulate your poor work ethic and your poor communication skills, because that's actually all you have. And I just think it sucks for anybody that is in the position to do that, to actually not be good at something dually. It's like ridiculous. Like, you're asking me to mimic what exactly? But I definitely feel so good that somebody cowers not around me as if I'm trying to be intimidating, but you see my intellect and work ethic as intimidating, and your only way out of it is to just posture a simulation when you know it's not happening. But I just definitely wish that people of ethnicity, especially young people, when you got that in you, when you really a hard worker, acknowledge it and just go do your thing. Do not ever allow somebody to create that type of environment, because this is considered a corporate environment. It's really not. But because I've worked in corporate environments where people were actually skilled at their job, like, and the ideals of race at play were much more dormant. And I realized that now that I'm in an environment that is like less intellectual, the shit at play is like more major, if anything. So I'm really happy to be myself and to have my goals and have the things that I'm working towards. I'm happy that I can recognize that, and I'm happy that it doesn't like set me on fire, because now with this particular individual that I'm unpacking, like their like communication skills, it will like really bother me that when they were talking at me that they weren't actually listening to me. And to put like the nail in the coffin, as they say, like, the person said to me, I'm being aggressive when I took initiative to communicate from my point of view. Oh, you're being aggressive. So the opposite of being aggressive is me assimilating to you. And what's so crazy is I'm perfectly capable of having this conversation with anyone. But the lack of ability for you to have it back with me is where, you know, the buck stops for the both of us. You're not growing and I'm not growing as long as I show up to feel like I'm clocking in. So I kind of want to change my mindset from clocking in and from gigging to like really knowing my worth, and not just about my worth being money wise. Like, who am I around? Like, who is the management team? Like, who are you and how does this place operate? Because me being a hard worker on my own is like not, it's just not like a realistic thing that I want to do. I don't think my skill set is for me to be an independent outlier. Like, no, like, that's cool and all, but I love being a team player. I just want everybody to have the opportunity to contribute. And the bigger thing that I'm really unpacking, that it sucks, because it's like what I want to do is something that I'm going to have to navigate too. And the things that I'm dealing with upon navigating it are not real things. Like, assimilation is not a real thing for me to deal with. It's someone male, and it's the patriarchy, and it's all these big isms that really aren't confined in any particular space, but I have to deal with that. But I actually have to be good at my job. while I'm dealing with this. So it's like, after the big, I feel like, unveiling of mental health in society in general, it's just like, do you not watch the news? Like, why are you so not informed? And I actually intentionally don't watch the news, but I'm very informed of political differences and different opposing ideals, especially when we're at work, because the whole job is to do the job well. But that was just me unpacking some shit tonight and give myself a round of applause for acknowledging myself, because in the past, in those type of situations, I don't think I would have like stood in the gear like, okay, I get that, and now I can move past it. But also I can move so far past it and just live my life. So that's like the epiphany of the day. Maybe I'll have one every day of the week, or maybe that's just it. But I'm gonna write my scripts. I'm gonna find my scripts on my hard drive first as I eat my junk food. And yeah, so I can get ready for the next day.